And grab some coffee, grab some toast, and get ready for your morning host. And relax, take off a load. It's king of the road. It's king of the road. It's breakfast with Bob.
Poncho Man! Day 4 of Breakfast with Bob from St. George, Utah. My name is Bob Babbitt, brought to you by Master Spa, Zion's Bank, Quintana Room for Smart Swim Goggles, Clash Endurance, Premium Plus Sports Challenge Athletes Foundation. And speaking of Clash Endurance, the CEO of Clash Endurance has flown all the way out here from Florida, Mr. Bill Christy, just to be on this very show. Yes!
Well, I am, so two things. First off, we've been together since 2018, since the beginning.
Exactly.
And this is the first time I've met Poncho Man.
It's the first time Poncho Man's been off the island.
and you know,
and you notice we have a tether because we can't let him leave this room, or all the little kids here in St. George will be having mohawks and running around with ukuleles and going, "I'll give you a racetrack around your eye, brother." You can't do any of that stuff.
Well, what an absolute honor to be here and to, first off, king of the road.
How perfect is that?
Right?
That's exactly what you
Right.
are, man. What you've done with Clash Endurance, first with Challenge Daytona, then Challenge Miami, now Clash Daytona, Clash Miami. Clash Watkins Glen coming up July 8th through 10th.
Right.
Wine Festival, 30,000 people. It's going to be crazy. And then Clash Atlanta, November 11th to 13th. I think there'll be a CAF component in there.
There is. We're really excited about that. That's a big deal to us. You do an amazing job with CAF, and we really need an opportunity to contribute.
We appreciate that.
No, it's a part of our fabric, and you know that. So we're excited to be a part of that and be able to jump in.
Very cool. And one of the things we talked about early on, one, you have built a playground, right? It's when you're at the Daytona Speedway or Miami Homestead or at Watkins Glen or Atlanta, you are in a safe environment for racing. And it could be a whole week of stuff. You're not blocking off a road.
Nope.
You don't need a policeman. Nothing. So there's no reason you can't have triathlon clubs out there all week. Camps, clinics, bike rides, gravel, mountain bike, running, ultra events. It's unlimited what you guys could do out there.
Yeah, I think that you're going to see some things from us this year that are going to shock the system a bit. With everything that's going on in Atlanta, at Road Atlanta, having the Fox Factory store on property for their test course. Some of the relays we're going to do, the trail running, the half marathons. It's going to be an unbelievable weekend to further expand that endurance. Yes. Endurance is going to be a big part of who we are going forward, but we are not going to forget our roots in swim, bike, run. The Glen's coming up. It's right around the corner from us. Bring your wetsuit.
It's that water's cold, huh?
Bring your wetsuit, which I'm overly happy about. You know that.
Yes.
But it's we sold out camping in Daytona. Just now cranking up camping in Miami. We expect to do so both in the Glen as its first year event.
Right.
But we sold out. We've had to add an extra RV lot. And little shout out to the Claremont team. The Claremont Tri Club took 4 RVs, created their own city block, and I think they had a cookout. So you guys, we're awful proud of you.
Well, because you're bringing NASCAR to triathlon.
We are.
Right, and the camping and the RV part of it is a huge part of NASCAR.
It is.
And which to be honest, I hadn't realized until I was at Daytona and I saw all these lots. And then the first year you had a few motorhomes.
We did.
And then the second year it's sold out.
Crazy. And you interviewed some of those folks.
We did, and we had some fun. And one of the women we were interviewing in Miami, I think she had 3 or 4 motorhomes. So I go, here's where I'm keeping my parents. Here's where I'm keeping my kids. And they're like, she got little kids. I'm like, wait, the kids are like running. Yeah, well, I got someone watching them. And then here's where I am. People really get into it.
Yeah, it's definitely turned into a true festival We're probably going to have to expand some days.
Yes.
Running 11 events makes Philip and Andre just absolutely crazy. But we're going to get better at that. And I think at the end of the day, we put on a clinic for water exiting. We put on a clinic for, and Alicia's here. She did the wetsuit education. We put on a transition course. Jared came in and put in a transition course. Open water swimming. I think you saw Rick Allen doing his open water swimming training.
13-time Ironman world champion. That's Rick Allen.
I like the fact he talked about writing part of your book.
He did. He wrote the intro. Yes.
Right.
So we've talked about bringing NASCAR to triathlon, and one of the aspects, the professionalism, the TV part, NASCAR TV. I remember talking to the NASCAR guys before the first Daytona event that I was at, when it was the PTO championship, and saying, guys, you haven't covered triathlon before. Are you concerned? And the guy's like, how fast did they go? And I said, like 30. He goes, yeah, our guys are going 200. I don't think I'm worried about it. We've got the truck up at the top of the bank. We got the West Cam in the back. We'll be eating sandwiches, and we won't have a problem filming the guys at 30 miles an hour.
It's interesting. When you look at NASCAR, they're the only true continual live event. Football, the Red Caps come out and they do this, and TV stops. Baseball, same kind of thing. NASCAR is running, and it's running in the background during the commercials that are going on. Regardless of what's happening,
that's right.
They're still showing. So it's really live TV, and they are pros at it. They're getting better. I actually asked for some graphics this year. They said no problem. Every time we ask for something, it's no problem.
They can do it all.
Yeah. And so I said on the leaderboard this year, as we have people coming up through the bottom of the field, and it's important for us to track everybody, right?
We don't want to. You have a lot of changes,
right? And so every time there was a change, their picture, and I don't know if you saw it, but their picture would slide out.
Yep.
And it would say who they are, what country they are, what their split was, and that there was either an arrow up or an arrow down on whether or not you got passed.
Right.
So that was a nice add this year. We're going to add a couple more graphics this year. They want to do some really cool things that they do in NASCAR that we have not utilized. Mm-hmm. So I think you're going to see some continual graphics that we're going to add. But so we're excited about it.
And more importantly, the numbers. The numbers have been huge. And that's the thing when when you're doing a race here and the guys are up in Snow Canyon and something happens and there's no camera there's no reception. When Sarah Perez-Sala goes through the timing thing, you've got it from 38 angles. You've got the drone, you've got the side angle, the front angle, over the handlebars, slow motion. Being able to capture all that because you're on a circuit makes life so much easier.
There's no question. And Miami had spectacular drama, which makes for great TV.
Yep.
We had athletes going down. We had athletes packing ice into their kits. We actually put another water station, and that track's only 1.5 miles long,
right,
for the pros. But the integral part of the road course caused us to put another aid station out there, and we put it up quick.
Yes.
The TV angles are there. The numbers were absolutely spectacular coming out of Daytona. We had zero expectation coming out of 2020. We were the only race in the world in 2020. Going into 2021, we thought, the purse is not what it was in 2020, although it's a very significant purse when you consider the other purses around the world. And we scaled back the number of athletes for safety reasons.
Right.
And Alicia was a big part of that. Mm-hmm. And when we did all those things, frankly, I was a bit nervous, to be absolutely fair.
Sure.
And we didn't know what was going to happen. We went from 640,000 sustained viewers in the United States. And Nielsen ratings, at the end of the day, set the stage for the world. We came out of Daytona this year with darn near 1 million sustained viewers. That's people who sat on their couch
and watched
and didn't leave.
Right.
I think the biggest part of that is we came out of the lead-in was alpine skiing at 242,000, which means the difference between 242,000, given that they changed channels, and 937,000 tuned in to watch that show. To give you the flavor of the magnitude of that, and I'm pretty close to this data for a host of reasons, is that we did better than all NCAA Division I football on cable in 2021.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, we started counting around the world. We had distribution in over 120 countries, 180 territories. When we got to over 6 million in 4 different countries, we said, we're done. We're not going to count anymore. The Nielsen data speaks for itself. Miami, we went to Fox 1. The folks at NBC were gracious enough to do that. They had their hands tied with what was going on at the Olympics. We went to Fox 1. They did a spectacular job for us. We took out everybody in that category by 3x. Perfect. Same time slot. Very, very pleased to announce that NBC came back to us with a December 31st at 5 p.m. For Daytona, which was, I think, the quid pro quo for going to Fox 1. So we're extremely excited about that. But, yeah, the numbers have been phenomenal. We have turned this into entertainment. But we've come up with some concepts that I think are really going to add to that. And no, I'm not going to tell you because I always get in trouble.
My favorite is every time we chat, you mention something that you weren't supposed to mention, and you call me 3 days later and say, "Can you hold that interview?" Because my team just came to me.
I got in trouble on that one.
Oh wait, you just announced Atlanta and Watkins Glen? What the hell? We aren't announcing that for a month.
It's going to be a busy season. This season is going to be a busy season. Next season, no, I'm not going to talk about next season because I'll get in trouble. But yeah, we're growing the way I promised that we would grow, and the team is just absolutely phenomenal. We're growing by leaps and bounds, and we're going to continue to put on the quality events that people have come to expect from a different experience.
What I was going to say is you're here in St. George, and one of the things that's so important, and from negotiating contracts with pros, myself, and then Alicia has herself, is every one of your sponsors is saying, okay, what Ironman are you doing? And let's put bonuses first, second, third for doing Ironman 70.3, maybe Olympics, not always, but maybe Olympics. But besides that, there isn't anything in there. So having Clash as part of those contracts is huge.
Huge.
And that's, I'm guessing, one of the reasons you're here.
We are. And so, again, Alicia was a big part of, we need to show the world that, yes, there is a component of being on the podium and having 1,800 athletes or so see you with your kit on, see you with you on your bike, seeing you.
Right.
But when you talk about almost 1 million viewers around the world seeing you on those bikes with those helmets, with those shoes, in that kit, I'm pretty sure that's kind of dramatic.
Well, leaderboard, arrows, all of that.
Absolutely.
That makes a huge difference.
Huge
difference.
difference.
It's an education process.
You've
got to sit down with the sponsors and with the athletes and with the agents and get them to understand that, hey, we're all working together here to create more awareness for your athlete and for you, but we need your help.
That's right. That's right. And I think that from our perspective, it's been very well received.
Good.
We've had, we're back-to-back meetings the entire time we're here, and people are interested. And people know who we are now. People have seen the TV products. People understand the dramatic nature of things like people falling out of a race and why they fall out of the race, and the discussion around falling out of the race, or the discussion around bike crashes and what happened. I think that some of the other things that people recognize is there are more components to it. We have hospitals on site inside the tracks. Sarah immediately went to the care center. They've got MRI machines. They've got full care facilities there.
That's huge.
That is huge.
Yeah.
That is huge. We don't have to wait for 911. We don't wait for 911. We are 911. And so the educational process of all of those things, those interviews after coming out of the care centers, those optics on TV, the energy on TV, those are the things we have to communicate and be able to share with people to understand what we can deliver, not only for the athlete, the leaderboards, the pop-out pictures, the split time showing who's passing who, what those splits are. Our sponsors is a part of that. As you know, Toyota was our big sponsor this year.
Yes.
And that's important to communicate. There's just too much opportunity for us to miss.
So you've got 2 events left this year.
We do.
And brand new events.
Brand new events.
Watkins Glen.
Well, three.
Oh.
Including Daytona.
Okay. Yes.
Right.
Yeah. But 2 brand new ones. Yeah.
2
Watkins
brand new
Glen
ones.
and then Atlanta.
Yep.
Watkins Glen is coming up before you know it. We're talking 2 months away.
2 months away.
Yeah. And that one is unique, right? Because you swim in a different location and then you ride to the track.
You do.
And when you finish the race, there's also a wine festival going on.
So yeah, the thought of finishing and the team has done an unbelievable job of the chute finishes into the wine festival, and there's also an area where all the wine festival folks can be a part of the finish line as well as out on the course.
Right.
So I'm a little interested as to what's going to happen with that many people drinking wine.
Yeah.
But I will be there.
You'll be drinking wine, I'm sure.
And the other part of it is their Ferrari challenges going on in the morning. So
I think Geff just woke up.
yeah. So what most people don't know about Watkins Glen is it was the first racetrack to put on a race prior to post World War II.
Okay.
And it was an old F1 course. It's a big track, a lot of elevation changes, as you know. We're excited about all the things that are taking place there. And then being able to build this story for Fox 1, FS1, about what the Glen offers.
Right.
I mean, it's wine regions, phenomenal restaurants, it's great hotels, it's got a fantastic history. We're pretty excited about the Glen.
That's very cool. And then talk a little bit about Atlanta.
Atlanta is our first endurance event, festival of weekends.
Okay.
And the team has come up with some just absolute spectacular stuff there. So half marathon, part of which is on the trail component just outside the track in the Fox Factory test course. There are 3 trails for the Fox Factory test course. I would equate it to snow skiing, right?
Okay.
A green, blue, and a black. All of them are 8 miles. So part of the marathon will take place there. There is going to be a team running event, several team running events. It just on and on and on. Mountain biking relays. I think they've got 9 events scheduled for the weekend at this point, and I'm pushing them for a 10th. We'll see how that goes.
How fun is that?
Oh, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be
For you,
amazing.
Bill.
Yeah.
Lots of great stuff happening, man. As always. Not often that we get to chat when we're not in Florida.
It's true.
This is unique and a lot of fun. Appreciate you taking time.
Well, I have to finish with something.
Okay.
Your birthday is coming up.
It's today.
So the Clash Endurance team, it is today. I thought it was yesterday.
No, today.
Shame on me.
Cinco de Bob, we call it.
Cinco de Bob. It is Cinco de Bob. So this is from the Clash team, and I ask you to please read it slowly because the handwriting is horrible. But this is from all of us to you.
I see you're finally getting a jump on your bucket list. Happy birthday. Dear Bob, happy birthday. So what do you get the man who has everything? Memory. So this is your ticket to the Richard Petty Professional Driving School and Experience in Daytona Beach. It'll be waiting for you in December. Wait. I get to drive with the king?
So better than driving with the king is they teach you how to be a race car driver, and they're going to put you in your own car. So happy birthday, my friend.
You're my favorite guy.
So appreciate for everything you've done, A, for the sport, B, for us, and it continues on.
What?
So memories is the only thing I could think to get you. And the entire team said, we should put him in a car by himself. So there you go.
That's exactly what my wife always wants, is me in a car by myself.
This is probably going to be a hard no. If it was my wife, it'd be a hard no. But enjoy that. We look forward to having you, and we can't wait to see you again. So
I love the energy you bring to the sport. I love the innovation you bring to the sport. It's good. You're doing great stuff, and the fact that you're expanding and more athletes are finding out about what Clash Endurance has to offer is awesome. Everybody check out Clash Endurance. You will love all the different events. Poncho Man, take us out.
Grab some coffee, grab some toast. Get ready for your morning host. Relax, take off a load. It's king of the road. It's king of the road. And breakfast with Bob.
Poncho Man, day 4, Breakfast with Bob. Thanks for tuning in. Hold on, we will be right back.
Beep, beep.